What is going on, guys? Here with a Tariq, however you want to call him, video. He dropped today, and if you want a land tank, he's your guy. But otherwise, at T0, I don't think he's your guy. So I'm gonna get that out of the way now. I'll get into it. I'm gonna showcase his weapons that I think are good on him. And I'm also gonna show how talents improve him. I've got all 6 to turn up. We're going to use the Ogre on 73 kind of as our punching bag to see if he can eventually get through it. But I've been spending a lot of time mixing things up, and I could not get through the Ogre, or at least through the stage. I'd kill the Ogre sometimes, but he's a land tank, but he doesn't deal any damage. And that's in part due to being sidearm grenade launcher. Grenade launchers aren't great. Just for the sake of you're running solar on him, because his abilities are what put out any sort of damage for him. You run solar weapons for Hone 1. You're either looking at Fraternity or auto loading. You could also argue sympathetic detonation specifically for, say, Expanse. Just because if you're using them on same element. But sympathetic detonation has no perk upgrades, so there's that. Fraternity at least gives you some damage and movement speed if you have it double upgraded. And then auto-loading is just super convenient. Right side, you're either looking at Ensured Yields or Splash Feast. I think Splash Feast is your best bet. Just because you're going for direct hits anyways, and honestly, anything to buff grenade launcher damage is welcome here. Mods, I could run the energy conversion ammo, but to be honest, I don't think it makes much of a difference. I'm trying to at least make the grenade launcher do something. And we're going with just going with mods that I have too. It's just power. I mean, RNG hasn't been the kindest to me. His abilities. So Cyclone, he groups enemies up and with a big tornado. It's a movement ability. It's also a confinement ability. And then dual thermodynamics. He throws his dual blades and hits things, and then he gets a barrier, which makes him an absolute tank. You can also share that barrier. There's a little icon that'll pop up after you get it that you press the button again, and it'll share the barrier to allies within a 15-meter radius. We're going to swap on to Prudent Counter. Maybe that'll help. Prudent Counter seems to be the only thing that gives us some benefit. Let's get on to the... I guess we're using the Battle Pass sidearm. That's brand new. It's maxed out. It looks really cool. It fires kind of slow, which doesn't necessarily synergize greatly with his kit. But it looks cool. Makes things go boom. And was it worth 390 cores and 7 or 8 photons? Probably not. But it looks cool. So, going to artifacts. A couple different paths you can take here, but this is just a very general, good, reliable build. Resolute Conjunction. It's going to give you some DR within minus 35% damage taken on close enemies. Substats, I'm personally going with the defense boost, LA res, shield boost, and barrier bonus. Normally I don't like barrier bonus, but gain 21% damage resistance while within 10 meters of your own barrier. We're always within 10 meters of our own barrier. And also increasing the durability of his barrier is very beneficial. LA res just gives you resistance against everything other than melee attacks, because all enemies' weapons have an element. And defense boost just gives flat damage resistance. You can swap shield boost for like range damage res if you want to get more DR. I like shield boost. You can also go health boost if you want. And then we're using Unrelenting Evolution. It's just a great combo with Resolute Conjunction, because once you're in proccing Resolute Conjunction range, that procs Unrelenting Evolution. So we're trying to build as much DR on him as possible, make him even more of a tank. In terms of his damage artifacts, we're going with both the plasmas. He can pretty much have 100% uptime on Inspiring, and Preponderant Plasma, he can keep this going as well. He can pretty much always maintain 100% uptime. Substats, we're going Weapon Enhancement, Damage Bonus, Solar Boost, Signature Boost. You might potentially be able to argue to get rid of Weapon Enhancement for Super Boost, but his super is on a 2-minute cooldown, but his weapons don't deal any damage. He's definitely spec'd for ability damage, and down the line with some other weapon combos, I may test that. Another weapon combo just to look into is Mesicku, or even Del 6 potentially. As bad as it is, it's really just a funnel to generate stacks for his passive to be able to reset his skills. But we're going to stick with the Battle Pass weapon. It's greatly invested into. But these are things that, you know, don't write them off. Mesicku especially, just because it shoots so fast that it actually generates stacks faster than Manifesto does. And if he really is truly only dealing damage with abilities, that may be the avenue to take, even though you're still going to want to go Solar Boost just for his ability damage. And then same thing applies for Tsurinobuse over Hone 1. You could argue Tsurinobuse just because it shoots faster, so when you group enemies up, you whip that out, and you're going to hit more enemies more often, so you'll generate more stacks. I would love to have come to you with adept weapons, but the game wasn't kind to me. So, the best I could build him in today. We'll go through his talents. I'll go through them as I unlock them. So, like I said, the final raid boss, per se, is going to be the Ogre in Impact 72 or 73. So I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to get right into it. It's going to take a second to actually get to the stage, but honestly, you might be able to argue that putting on the weapon converter or energy conversion mod that makes his primary deal more damage would be the way to go. Just because, like I said, I mean, the GL deals basically negative damage, so... The thing with Expanse is you really got to watch his abilities, because like right now I'm going to have to wait out. I'm going to have to wait out until I get my abilities, because, you know, he's got no, like, regen, health regen, or healing, so you kind of gotta make sure you can get that barrier up. All right. When you detonate a shield, it does a lot of damage, but then, like, the Ogre specifically heals a ton, so... And his cooldowns are just, like, slightly off. But you have to... I'm gonna die here. No, I'm not. We're good. Other thing you do have to watch out for is his barrier protects against projectiles and melees, but it does not protect against splash damage. I got the ogre down at 15 seconds left. Yeah. So also he's really bad at breaking impacts. So there's that we have to consider.
Okay.
So we're gonna
Then nothing happened. Nothing.
save and exit. Because should be able to activate talents by doing so. And we're just gonna turn on T1. I think T2 is where we'd look at a break point in terms of talents, but I truly do feel that he is a T6 or bust character. Let's see, make sure talent's on. It is. Alright, so T1 didn't really make much of a difference, and again, there could be some skill issue here, I'm not going to deny that. And we get wiped out.
Okay. Nobody saw that?
I'm going to save and exit. I said this is going to be a longer segment, but gotta do it to test. So when Wind's Howl hits the same target consecutively within 6 seconds, it deals an additional 50% per additional hit, increasing by up to 200%. Should give some more damage. Alright, Wind's Howl is, no, losing my mind. But should give more damage.
you in my sights.
Gonna wait until we get our passive stacked again. Never mind, we're gonna get one tapped because we were just a little bit outside of our cooldown. But I want to say, and I know it died there, I'm still gonna back out and take him up a talent level. We're at like 40 seconds left, and that ogre was probably gonna die in about another 15. Like I said, there's some skill issue here. It's just because I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of just trying to get through this. This one's just gonna make his barrier tankier. What we're gonna do is we're actually gonna jump up to T4 because T3 is just making his barrier have more durability.
Yeah, whatever. Let's go with this.
So T4 is his next damage jump. Oh, what? Did I not save and exit? There we go.
Okay. Ready for action. I've got you in my sights. Not getting away.
Alright, got the ogre with 50 seconds.
You saw me.
And we run into the problem of he's really bad against Impact Shinkas.
You're welcome, Tariq.
And so we're going to save and exit. T5 increases damage. T6 also increases damage. For the sake of time, I'm going to jump up 5 and 6 because I'm going to be honest, if you're pulling all the way up to 5, you should just pull to 6. This guy probably needs it. We're going to run it back one more time. And then just for comparison's sake, I'm going to take my T6 Jaren through and just see the difference.
Ready for action.
Ooh, wait a minute. There we go. That one's a skill issue. I'm gonna run that. I'm gonna do that again. But as you can see, even at T6, it's not really helping his case very much. It's just like when he's in single target situations, you don't actually have perma uptime on your barrier. And so when you're under light, so I mean, again, I'm skill issuing a bit, but like, even at T6, he just feels like he does negative damage.
Okay. Nobody saw that?
So I'm gonna exit without save.
Nothing.
I think he would probably be better off with Mesicku and Tsurinobuse just to be able to ability spam more. But for transparency's sake, we're going to swap onto our Jaren, who is lower power. Very similar build. Jaren is also T6. I'm aware that one is a defense character and one is not.
Anybody gonna dig some graves for those sad sacks? Detail could spell danger.
I mean, there's also just a beefy stage. So,
No abnormality spotted. Press on.
shouldn't have used that ability there, but
If you find anything odd, no matter what it is, tell me immediately, Hartford.
I'm gonna get beamed.
These ones make for sturdier targets. Valve is ready.
Uh-oh. Yeah, so that was a matter of me running out of shotgun. But you can see Jaren handles the ogre quite a bit better, and I actually would have had time to clear the stage. I'm just not very good at the game. And just for fun, I'm going to take him back through with non-optimized these things, just to try to spam abilities. Does drop his power. Wait, did I go on rapid fire? I think I did.
Let me show you a thing or two.
I know you're all set, Tariq. I know you're all set, Tariq.
Must wait. If anything, I think this is just showing that at T6 he's significantly better.
Okay.
Uh,
Ready for it.
with the faster firing weapons over the battle pass weapons.
I've got you in my sights, skinny man.
But then we run back into the problem of grenade launchers better at trying to take down impact than the sidearms are. Hopefully that kind of shows you guys
Nobody saw that? Then nothing happened. Nothing.
what he can do. To be honest, I think just for my gameplay loops with him, even though I heavily invested into these guys, probably gonna look for a pair of Mesicku that I want. And so we're just gonna go probably Beast Trap. I think it's really the only good option. I guess Surrounded's not terrible, but Beast Trap more than likely. And Aggressivity Curve, likely what I'm gonna look for on it. Hopefully this was a little bit enlightening for you guys. I hope you enjoy. And it really stinks that such a cool looking character with a cool kit is just so bad. Don't like to make negative videos, but he's definitely a pass. Even if you want a T6, I might still probably pass him. But have a good one, guys.